Prophetic conduct as it relates to our corporate environments is an important forgotten tradition. And as we're going through this 9-pronged strategy of inculcating the tradition, the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, it becomes important for us to focus on doing some housekeeping and preparing ourselves for cleansing some of the excesses that we find in some of our accounts and some of our extended networks and circles of influence. It's important to be regular in your housekeeping and maintenance of those who add value to the relationships you have and those who are detracting and taking away from those relationships. And I do highly recommend as a lifestyle, both in your work environment and in your personal environment, that you set some time, maybe once a month or every couple of months, where you perform a connection housekeeping, where you kind of look through the context that you've built up, the people that you're staying or not staying in contact with them, and declutter. You don't have to go through your entire list and see everything and everyone, but you should certainly go through a good number of connections and reestablish contact with those that are important that you may have overlooked and check in with them. And we've spoken about the importance of checking in. Or you may need to cut some out who are no longer material and no longer relevant to your current role and current scope of work and job. And being able to establish new connections is important, but being able to politely, kindly, and rightfully sever unproductive connections is just as important. Allah commands us in the Quran where He says that when you see people sitting together and you're amongst them for whatever reason, and they begin to make a disparagement, a humiliation of your faith or of your Lord, فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ حَتَّى يَخُوضُوا فِي حَدِيثٍ غَيْرِهِ. Turn from them until they change their course of life, their course of discussion, and this sinful habit. Don't be a person who is party to negativity in your life. See, I want you to understand the mathematics of your spirit and emotion. See, you can have 1,000,000 positivities in you, but if you multiply it by a 0.000 negative, the whole number becomes negative. You and I have experienced that in life. When you have that one toxic person, when you have that one person who doesn't add value, who's always hypercritical of everything that you're doing, is not there out of genuineness, is not supportive, and you continue to give them oxygen and space to breathe some of their toxicity, then it's not just entirely their fault, but it becomes important for you to develop the backbone and the strength to be able to sever the line, to put the barrier that insulates the rest of your team and your own mental state and happiness from having to experience that. One of the things that I've learned in my social media experience is that there will always be haters. There will always be people who haven't even heard what you put up, who've already put a dislike sign on your YouTube video or whatever it is. There was always going to be someone who's trolling, always someone who's there to just try to bring you down and tear you down and bring you anger into your heart and inflame you against what is your own common sense. And the best way that I've seen to deal with that is to block, ignore, and delete and move on. Continue with those who love you and add value to you, with those who are critical of you but respectful of you, with those who are able to engage with you in a way that allows you to establish a flourishing environment in your corporate life and in your professional positive relationships, as well as your personal. Do some housekeeping. There are people, I guarantee you right now, who have a space in your phone, who are looking through your social media, who do not deserve that place and that privilege to be a part and parcel of commentary on aspects of your professional and personal life that you've allowed, when you should be able to censor and remove that privilege, insha'Allah.